Just on your Movie Madman, and I'm back. Today's going to be my final book versus film. Not ever, just for a while. So I figured this is book versus film 10. And yeah, I want to watch this shit every week. So today will be the final one for a little while. I haven't got any physical copies of the books or the films today. Sorry, I was just thinking about the franchise then. Oh god, sorry. Today we're talking about Narnia. Now, there's several adaptations of these. Started off as a cartoon TV movie in the 70s when they just covered The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. It then moved on to the 80s when the BBC did some adaptations of it, and they covered The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader and The Silver Chair. Then Disney then made some movies in the early 2000s, and they covered The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian and The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. And then in, I think, 2016 or 2017, one of them, in one of those years, Netflix then bought the rights to all 7 books, promising to release some movies and some TV shows. So they're proper going to be stretching that one out. I imagine they'll probably start with The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, like everyone does. I don't know why though. I mean, out of all of the books, I probably would have said The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe was probably one of the ones that was the least interesting. Now, I read all 7 books over the beginning of the year, mainly because I just wanted to read them for myself. I know that my mum or my dad, or both of them, or one of them, read them to me when I was a very small child. We didn't really remember much of it except for my dad doing voices, but then now I'm a bit older and I thought I'd go back and read them all again. Out of the 7 books, funnily enough, the 7 books, you got The Magician's Nephew, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, The Horse and His Boy, Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, The Silver Chair and The Last Battle. Out of those 7, I would have said The Magician's Nephew and The Horse and His Boy were probably the most interesting to read out of any of them. I loved The Horse and His Boy because I wasn't expecting it to have a little bit of a warped timeline, so that was a nice little surprise for me. The Magician's Nephew was like a really good origin story / prequel to The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe as well, but I felt just a little bit like I was a bit too old for them now. I mean, some adults like reading the Chronicles of Narnia. They are very obviously aimed at children. I mean, there's pictures in the books to start with, so you could tell that way they're aimed at children, but like how everything's dumbed down for kids all the way through the book, down to the dialogue. It's old-fashioned dialogue, but it's still very obviously all aimed at children. I was expecting The Last Battle to be like some big epic ending to the entire book collection, and it turned out that it didn't really finish in a way that made sense. I was a bit like, right, I think I understand what's going on here, but it was just a little bit like, oh, you just stopping there, are you? Could have done with like a few extra chapters to maybe explain a little bit more. Adaptations wise, I grew up with the BBC adaptations, the 80s ones, so they're the ones I'm probably the most familiar with. Most people will probably be more familiar with the Disney adaptations, but again, out of the 3 Disney adaptations, I probably would have said I preferred The Voyage of the Dawn Treader the most, mainly because out of the 4 BBC adaptations, I liked The Voyage of the Dawn Treader the least. So then when I got round to watching the film, I was just expecting it to be a big heap of shite, and I turned out to actually quite like it, because it did more than the book did. There was more detail in the film, and it was just a bit more adventurous and a bit more purpose to it, rather than just travelling from A to B and collecting Horcruxes. In terms of book versus film, I would have said the BBC adaptations and the Disney adaptations were probably all in all better than the books anyway. I really wasn't that fond of the books whatsoever. They're alright if you're 5, but I'm not 5. I mean, I don't really know many 5-year-olds that can read, but there'd definitely be books that I might considering reading to my kids, but not on my own. Like, why would you do that as an adult? Oh, look, there's a picture to explain what's going on. Brilliant. Like, I think I'm a bit beyond reading books with pictures now that are aimed at children, because I'm an adult now. So, a bit of a slating. I would have said, sorry. I'm not sorry. I didn't like it. Alright, I'm not going to apologise for not liking it. Well, I did, but, you know, even now knowing that Netflix has the rights to the books, I'd still be interested to see what Netflix does with the books. Be interested to see how they drag it out. I'm willing to bet they'll create more characters, maybe more parts of the land itself and all this sort of thing, but who knows? Who knows? It might actually end up being terrible, but I guess we'll find out when we get to it. If we get to it. I mean, considering Netflix have had the right to the books now for probably about 4 to 5 years, and so far they've done nothing. They haven't even started writing anything. All they've done is say, oh, we've got the rights to Narnia. That's great. Well done. Good one, Netflix. Do something with it. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Netflix does with it, but as far as book versus film, or even books versus films goes, I'd definitely say the films are better. Easily say the films are better, except for maybe Prince Caspian. I thought that was a bit shite all the way around, but all down to an opinion. At the end of the day, it's just an opinion, so don't get upset. I started to think I'm not going to start advertising what videos are coming up, because I keep saying, oh, this video's going to be next, and then it's not. So look forward to next week. There'll definitely be an unboxing next week, I'll tell you that, because you like them. There won't be any more book versus films. There's no more Christopher Nolan stuff. Maybe I'll dig into a different director, but I haven't quite decided yet. I guess we'll see. Well, you'll see. I won't see. So I'm gonna go. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that would be great. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.